Whoa, okay. Because I definitely thought Trey was the guy here. Talk to me.
The way he was sipping that water, it looked like he was getting.
Ainge family. Who you taking, baby?
Ace Bailey.
They took
Ace Bailey.
Ainge. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Sometimes you have to take
You just
the
got
guy.
to take the best player available.
Even if he does, well, he's ear to ear with it, though. Who knows?
Oh, I feel like naturally you still have to be happy to get drafted, even though it may not be the place that you were happy to go.
Now let's watch this. Let's watch the facial reactions. Because I know this isn't what he was thinking.
It definitely was not what he was thinking, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you got to go hoop. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I thought, like, naturally just doing what he was doing was kind of wasn't that appealing to me.
Now, let me just tell you something. There's been a, and I don't have any information on this, so I'm just saying this, okay? There are few bigger trolls in the history of the NBA than Danny Ainge, all right? This guy does this stuff. Now, if he was convinced that Washington wanted him, which is what everybody thought, that Washington wanted him, and they were indecisive on who to take number 5 anyway, they could have taken him here just to hold up Washington.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just saying could have.
Right.
They could have done this because they're like, okay, well, we can now hold him and we'll hold him hostage and we'll take whoever we want.
Well, he's not smiling in that picture, Adam Silver. I'll tell you that much. He did not smile. So,
You know who also loves Ace Bailey or where he wanted to go? I mean, and what Danny Ainge loves is draft picks.
Yeah.
Who has a bunch of them? The Brooklyn Nets. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
mean, you know, maybe I'll get word here in a few minutes that there's an auction on. I don't know. But-
let's assume that they keep the pick for right now. There's, like we mentioned, there's no blue chip prospects right now with the Utah Jazz. And
Yep.
Ace Bailey has the ability to maybe be that guy.
Yeah.
Their last couple draft picks, the Cody Williams, the Taylor Hendricks, guys that we like,
Yeah.
but none of them we saw had the upside to be one of the better players in the league. And Ace Bailey, again, has the upside to potentially do that.
One of the things that I'll say too about Ace Bailey, I know Derrick was saying it's not where he want to go. One of the things that we don't really know exactly. There was reports. The one thing that we do know he wanted was the opportunity to be able to be himself and to play the way he likes to play. Utah will definitely allow him to do that.
For sure.
Jazz
There's
are-
not a lot of people
Jazz
that's
are
going to take the
keeping
ball
him.
out of his hands.
Jazz are keeping him.
Yeah.
Y'all think that could ever be a scary situation where you just kind of have all this room? That's like you could have, especially as a tough shot maker, you could have a really kind of down season if those shots
Yeah.
not falling like that. You know,
You know who my comparison for him has been?
who was it?
A guy that I know you like, and I feel like he would fit that role good. Maybe they want to try the superstar route first, and then the backup option will be this. Rashard Lewis,
Oh, I like
6'9"
that.
size, I think incredible shot maker, but like to your point, playing off of somebody. If you are Ace Bailey, I think I would have wanted to go to Philly. I would have wanted to play off Tyrese Maxey. I would want to
definitely
play off
would
of Joel Embiid double team. So
You know, and to play devil's advocate, playing for another team like a Washington or a Brooklyn or a Utah, there's really no strings attached to what you can and can't do. While you know if you went to Philly, I'm behind Joel, I'm behind Maxey,
You're
I'm
pigeonholed.
behind Kane McCain.
Yeah. That's why
But
I
if you go to
George.
Utah, he legitimately get what he wants. I can take 20 shots a game as a rookie potentially, even though that
I think it could be a
If-
double-sided sword though. Sometimes, like
if you go to those places and you shoot those shots and they don't materialize to anything, we just seen a guy in Houston who was starting to actually get better.
Yeah.
And he had a bad playoff series and they shipped him out. And now everybody around the NBA is acting like Jalen Green is one of the worst
Bro,
talents
I
in the
always
entire
say
NBA.
shot creating is probably the hardest thing to be consistent at the NBA level. Just because you got the best defenders out there, and every night, if you really one of them ones, attention to detail is going to be on you.
Yeah. But I will say with Ace, though, he does a good job of getting his real quick. He has very limited movement, and he's not going to do anything drastic where he's like, tat, tat, tat. Like, he's very quick with his decision-making and where he's going to get to his spots. So I do love that part about his game, that he's processing the game really fast.
Pick 5, Utah Jazz, Ace Bailey. D Mills approved?
I would agree. D Mills approved.
Are we going to see any picks that won't be D Mills approved?
waiting
Depends
for it.
on where they go.
So no.
No.
So no. Every pick he's going to say is D Mills approved.
D Mills approved.
I would love to have had the video of the Wizards draft room when this pick was announced.
Throw the hands up.
Because, you know, the Wizards, you know, they obviously they were number 1, what is they, number 2, whatever it was, they slipped all the way back to 6. It was like the worst case scenario for them. And their GM, Will Dawkins, he tried to put a good face on it at the lottery. He's like, well, it was a 50% chance that we were going to finish in 5 or 6.
Right.
Well, like, yeah, they had one of the worst tanking years ever. Their team was horrible. They were, for a while, They had the worst. Differential in the history of the NBA. And it got so bad that they had to trade for a few veterans at the deadline, Marcus Smart and Chris Milton, just so they could get some adults in the room so they'd stop getting beat by 40 every night.
And they just made another trade for another
CJ
veteran.
McCollum's
CJ
now
McCollum's on the team now.
a Wizard.
You think that changes what their draft strategy is now that Ace is not there? Knowing that they have a couple of the guards on the team?
Well, the thing is that, there just was not good intel in the league on what Utah was going to do. So there was probably a decent feel from Washington that they were going to, because they were thinking, look, we got the 6th pick, we got unlucky, but we may have been able to get into the 3rd best player. And they might have thought for like a few weeks here, like, well, this may actually work out for us. Yeah. But even today, I was talking to teams like, do you know what Utah's doing? I was talking to an agent who represents 2 players in the top 10 today, including one who he thought there was a decent chance Utah was going to take him. All right, I know the next pick, but I'm going to follow.
Okay.
I'm going to follow the. Who do you guys like here for? Let's put it this way. Who do you guys like for Washington?
Try to boast at what I look like. Keep them going, try to wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA over here,